Hey folks, welcome to G67 2.6 AB PBA 73, adding and subtracting positive and negative fractions with different denominators. I already kind of got this first one going for you here. When you add, you have to have the same denominator. If the denominator isn't the same, you have to find a common denominator. It's always best if you can find the least common multiple, the smallest denominator possible. In this case, that's 15. So I multiplied 3 times 5 to get 15. I multiplied 1 times 5 to get 5. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. Same thing with this next problem. I multiplied this times 3 to get to 15, so I have to multiply the top times 3. Now at this point in time, you have to say, what the heck am I really doing? Well, it says addition here, but you're adding a negative. So again, I need you to stop thinking about adding and subtracting and start thinking about combining. So we're combining 9/15 and a negative 5/15. Well, these are different signs, so we're going to find the difference. The difference between 9 and 5 is 4/15. Remember, the denominator doesn't change. It's 4 parts out of 15. And it's positive because 9/15 has the greatest absolute value. So we keep that greater absolute value. Another way of thinking about it is this is more positive than this is negative. So when we find the difference, it keeps this sign. All right. Now let's just look how to do the puzzle, and I'll give you a little more detail on that. So we have 4/15. We go down and find that t has 4/15. And then for number 1, down here at the bottom, we're just going to put in the letter t, and it's going to be the answer to some incredibly lame puzzle that will only make you snicker, not laugh. So we just put a T here for the number 1, and we're back. Okay, so now I'd like to slow it down just a little bit. Now make it bigger so that we can work through a couple of these. Here, much better. Okay, that's why I wrote those first ones out. So we have to find a common denominator for 4 and 3. So I'm going to rename these as 12s. And let's see, this one here I would have to multiply times 3 to get to 12. So this is going to be a negative 3/12 because 1 times 3 will be 3. Just going to fix that up just a little bit, make that a little bit better too. My 3. Okay, and this one here, I would have to multiply this one times 4 to get to 12, so this is going to be 8. And again, it's a negative 8. So now we're looking at this. Let's just change this to plus and negative. It makes it a little bit easier for me. Now we're looking at these two fractions here. We have to combine them. They're both negative. This is an adding problem. Same signs, add and keep. Well, 8 plus 3 is 11. We keep the denominator, which is 12. So we have 11 12s, and it's negative. We keep that sign, 11 12s. So I'll find 11 12s on here. It looks like O, so we'll cross that off. I know you can't see it, but for find number 2 and just put in an O. All right, let's keep rolling here. This next one, we have 1/2 and 2/10. Well, let's see here. We can use tenths for our common denominator. I would have to multiply this guy by 5, so I'm going to have to do the same on the top. So this becomes 5/10. So we have 5/10 minus 7/10, or 5/10 plus a negative 7/10, however you want to think about that. These are different signs, positive and negative. The difference is 2/10. I can divide both of those by 2, and I can reduce that and get that down to 1/5. Okay? It is a negative 1/5 because this had the greater absolute value. So negative 1/5, which is S. So cross that guy off, and for 3, I'm going to put in an S. And let's work one more problem. Let's try one of these ugly ones. That's a word problem down at the bottom. Word problems are scary. But you're going to be adding and subtracting positive and negative fractions. Triangular course is marked with buoys. The first leg is 3/10 of a mile, so 3/10 this way. And the second leg is 1/2. And the third leg is 2/5. How long is the race? Well, I like making a little drawing just to help me figure that out. but I'm going to slide that over and put that over here on the side so we can see it a little bit better. So we have 3/10, 3/10 plus 1/2 plus 2/5. Well, 10, 2, and 5. We can use 10 as our common denominator. So we'll just use this as rename all to tens. This one we don't need to rename because it is tenths. Well, if I took 2 times 5, I would get to 10. So this is another name for this, just 5/10. And this one I'd have to take times 2, so this one becomes 4/10. So I add those all up. I have 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 4. This is equal to 12/10, which is the same as 1 and 2/10, which is the same as 1 and 1/5. Of course, it's positive because we're talking about distance here. And all the fractions were positive. So that's straight up 1 and 1/5. And that looks like that is S. So for number 16, we'll just put in an S. And hopefully I did the puzzle right. I know the math is right. Okay, thanks so much for listening. Good luck with this one.